chart. I might have had on one of the other charts. We can take the 80 to 80k, but let's take the 60k range off, right? And let's look at it from the current range perspective. So depending how you want to pull this volume profile, I generally don't want to take this V shape into account for the volume profile, and then because I think this is about 2 weeks worth of range, yeah, about 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks of 4 hour range, kind of sideways. Generally for me is enough to kind of start making this kind of a new value range, and we've done so from here to here is one profile rotation, 2 profile rotations, deviation, 3 profile rotations, 4 profile rotations. So for the most part here, yeah, I like that. So either to 67,200. The POC is now at that daily level, and then obviously we've got the value at 7,400. This might be the one that Frankie has used. Don't quote me on it. I've not gone back to look at his chart this morning. So kind of where we're at now, I need to put this back into a new value chart. So this is kind of what I am looking at, although I'm winging this, but it is what I had on my mind and what I had on another chart. And I think a few people might have been quoting this back in we're back in value, or back in the volume profile at this point. So yeah, for now, kind of locally, what I am looking at, which will line up with the 67 to like these levels here. Let me just bloody hell, blood. Sorry, I'll quickly look over chat and just focusing here. Value area low, PSC, value area high. Cool. So basically what we've got, if you look at the 4 hour profile, and yes, why am I not extending it fully? It's subjective. So for anyone that wants to kind of, we do clutch at straws as to how we draw these, but the subjectivity for me in it is that it's done. I rotate and I extend based on how many times it moves across, and now obviously now that it's back in, we could probably, let's just see if we move this back into where it's now come back into the profile. Does it change any much? It doesn't change all that much, but I actually like that one there, kind of because it was hanging on there, deviated, and you can see the wick has now come back in at 67.2. So I am quite happy with that, and what I will do is when we get back to 7,400, do another rotation, I'll pull this further over. But this is kind of how I'm doing it. It looks like the one that Frankie was using with the Valet 67.2. So yeah, I have learned something in my few years of learning from Frankie for a change. So yeah, might not be quite on Frankie's levels, but this is kind of the profile now we'll trade. Obviously we have the 60 to 70k profile, so you have to bear in mind also as well 67k. If we pull this profile back on, now we actually have more confluence below us to hopefully let this hold as support, and then obviously we can